hustling for you.
Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Hey everyone, welcome back again to my channel. Welcome back. If you are coming here for the first time, welcome to my channel. This is Life with Lavette. Today I'm back with another banging video. Yes, I'm back with another video. Today I'm gonna be giving some advice for back to school students, because I know a lot of students, basic college, most or all colleges have really started back at this point, and also high school. If you're also a high school student, you could get some information from this as well in order to really be successful this semester. So this is just my advice. You really don't have to take it, but this are some things I did while I was in college that really helped me towards success, and I just decided to share because I just feel like some people want to hear. So enough of the talk, let's just get right into the video, okay? Alright, number one, I believe every student, the first thing at this point, I think you get into the second or third week of the semester, if you're really geared to success, you should have your syllabus for each class. So the reason I say this is because, especially because a lot of classes, because I know for CUNY, they mostly doing home learning at this point, distance learning, which basically takes place 100% like online. Those students in SUNY as well, I'm just saying, or also private schools and anyone else watching, the main reason why I feel like it's important for you to have your syllabus is because you could have things going on and you really don't want to get be caught unprepared in the middle of the semester, right? So if you now ahead of time, if you know what the class or the professor expects from you throughout the semester, you could maybe if you don't understand something right now, you could clarify. Maybe if it's a quiz or a test, when you're gonna be having it, you could have that conversation with your professor ahead of time, so you're prepared for anything that is going to happen during the semester. Because if something comes up, now you don't have the luxury to see your professors really when you want to. Your only communication with them is mostly like through email, and a lot of them may not respond at the time you need it. So it's better now to get clarification instead of during the semester you want to start clarifying what maybe the teacher expects from you. So yeah, I don't want to really rant, but it's really important right now to know what the class expects from you, like your professor expects from you from the class, the textbooks, everything that you need. If it's something, I don't expect you right now to go buy a textbook, but if it's something you can order online, like have a PDF, then definitely you should have those resources now instead of later in the semester. Then maybe when you need it later and you start thinking about it, that could kind of get you off track. So you don't want that. So number two, my number two advice is write down the information for your professor. So the reason I say this is because I've fallen a victim of this a few times. Sometimes maybe when you're writing an exam or the day before an exam, you may have a question for your professor that maybe before you didn't have during class time. You want to have your professor's information like right at your fingertips when you need it. And this is like, it would be helpful if you have each notebook for each class and you could write the information of each professor down, like the email and phone number. If the phone number is given, then that's a plus. You could have it for your professors, so you could always reach out to them when needed, because sometimes you could really be in a haste and you can't really think properly in order to search emails, maybe go on Blackboard. You could be panicking and you don't want to have that stress over you. You just want to know, yes, I have this information right here when I need it, and that's that. It could save you a lot of trouble right now. Trust me. Have it somewhere that you could have your professor's information somewhere that you could easily get to when needs be, right? Because you're going to need it, and I fell a victim of this. So please, I'm just giving you guys some advice. You take the ones you take, right? You take the ones you take. So yeah. My number 3 advice, I know a lot of people will kind of just like not listen to this one, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Still have your necessary school materials, and when I say this, I mean still have your notebook for each class. I know a lot of students now, because you're home, you maybe have the perception that you don't have to be as serious as when you're in school. I know this doesn't go for all students, but I'm saying if you are serious and you want to be serious with your classes, you need the basics to have still the way you had it while you were in school, a notebook for each class. You really can't rely on maybe if the class had a recording, I would just listen to it. If you maybe in the future I'm gonna do a study hack video, you definitely want to have somewhere where you write down your thoughts concerning a specific subject or something you're studying in class. So definitely still have your writing materials, guys. I know this is as basic as anything, and I know a lot of people will be like, of course I still have my notebook, but trust me, there are some who maybe would forget about the basic needs of home learning and just like want to go with the flow or the when. Guys, you can't go with the flow. You need to have those materials if you get to a success, and I know everyone in this family is get to a success, right? But that's my advice. So my fourth advice for you guys is that, first of all, you should know at this point if your professors maybe record their classes. If your professors are not recording their class, you need to ask if that's a possibility. And when I say record the class, I mean like while the class is going on, the professor should have a recording, the class being recorded while it's going on. So basically the recording records everything the professor says and whatever screen they share. And I'm telling you, that's gonna help you later, maybe because sometimes you're home, like it or not, people are gonna distract you because there may be other people at home. But if you don't have distractions, not everything you're really going to hear while the teacher is teaching. And I went through online learning last semester. I had a class which was really a lot, like there was a lot going on in the class. You can't really understand everything at the same time. If you have a recording, I always went back to my recording and took notes. I took notes while the class was in session, but when I go back to my recording, I could write down more things that I missed during the class time. So if your classes are not yet recorded, you could ask your professor if that's a possibility, and if not, it's fine, but that's just a plus. And I really wanted to add that in there because I know a lot of people are using kind of online learning right now, and that would be definitely a plus. If you didn't know that, that's possible. My fifth advice for you guys today, I know everybody's gonna look at me like this girl, no one has time for that. Nobody has time for that. But I'm telling you, you better have time for it. Have a planner, period. This is probably the best advice I could give to any student right now who's home. And I know pretty much you guys, you're not gonna listen to me. You're not. Put it down below in the description box if you get a planner. Not thinking of getting a planner, but after you watch this video, if you actually get a planner, put it down below. Cause I know, this is my advice. Definitely have a planner where you write down. Probably in the future I'm gonna share a planner that I personally use and that I recommend. A1. If you want to know, leave it down below and I'll talk about how I feel about the planner. Definitely you need a planner, especially now you're home, you want to plan out your day. And for me, guys, the truth is I was not the best with planners, but I'm here to tell you it helps. The times I use it, I know the difference with my schedule when I use a planner and the times that I don't use a planner, right? That's the major purpose of this video. If you're really geared towards success, you would use a planner to plan out your day and also write down your upcoming tests, information for, like, I'm gonna get to that. That's going to be my sixth advice for you guys. But you want to have a planner where you write down all the important dates and information for the semester. Don't say I didn't tell you. This is gonna save you because there's days you will forget. If you keep everything in your head, the days you would forget because there's a lot of things going on. You're probably working at the same time full time. You're probably not gonna remember, and I'm telling you, a plan is gonna save you, and I know. Alright guys, so my sixth advice for you guys today is that you get the information for someone in your class. And I know that's kind of really hard right now because you can't really see the people or kind of get a vibe of who you would vibe with and who you want to relate with in a class, but you kind of need someone to maybe help you out on the days maybe you're not feeling too well and you can't really attend class, or you really have an emergency come up. You want to have someone that you could email or text that could give you information about what happened in the class. Please don't underestimate this because you're really gonna need someone, most likely will need someone to share information that you missed, because I know we're not all perfect. There may be days where you miss a class, have other things going on as well since you're home, so you do want to have someone in your class where you able to share information with. Or maybe during a test, if you have a question and you feel like it's too late to email a professor and the test is the next day, you could have somebody to ask a question and maybe see if they have an answer to the question you have. And I have a tip for you guys how to get one. I know right now you're like, how am I supposed to know people who is in the class, I mean, I don't know their name, everybody registered online. I got you. Now my advice for that, guys, is you go on your Blackboard while you're having your virtual class. There's a chat panel where you basically chat with maybe the professor or the students during the lecture. This could be useful to you because you could come in before the class time, like right when the class starts, before the professor maybe starts talking. You could type in the chat, hey, anyone wanna be my buddy for this class so we could share information in case of any emergency. And I tell you, a lot of people really want that person or a group where they could always ask for information. Let me tell you, people are gonna respond. You will see like a flood of messages, and you guys probably will end up creating a group for the class. Guys, number 7, make it a habit to email your professors. Just the way during regular class session, I would advise you to definitely make your professors know you. I personally am not the talker type. I know a lot of students may be like, I'm not really the talker type to indulge in my professor or try to make my professor know me in a class. I'm really not that student as well, but at the end of the day, I kind of make my presence known in the class. Either way, when I have a test, if maybe I fail one question, I'll go to the professor and ask for clarification, and that kind of builds a relationship with you and your professor. Or you do really well in the class, that builds a relationship as well. There are different strategies to kind of get the attention of your professor so they will know who you are as a student. Like, that's not, maybe saying they're gonna give you a grade that you don't deserve. No, it's just having that relationship with your professor. I'm telling you, is gonna help you in the future with especially different things. One major thing is recommendation letters when you graduate from graduate schools and for your jobs. Don't say I didn't tell you today. Don't say I didn't tell you later when you graduate and you're gonna be finding recommendations up and down and you don't build any relationship with your professors. I'm not saying all your professors are gonna vibe with all of them, but at least try. And if maybe the ones you don't vibe with, but you still get an A in that class, period. Now you're 2 weeks or 3 weeks in, your email could go like this: good afternoon, doctor, my name is I'm in this class and I've been learning a lot from your class. If you don't understand something already, then this is your opportunity to start a conversation. Professor, I don't really understand this. This is gonna help you because at the beginning your professor sees that you are really willing to learn and not just coming to the class just to come to the class. I'm telling you, I do this. I email my professors when I have questions. I'm kind of bad in like keeping up and emails and stuff like that, but when I have a question and it's really a class that I'm interested in, I email the professors if I have questions and get them answered, and that kind of makes the professors know who I am in the class. Even though I don't know now that it's virtual, it's gonna be a little harder, but just try, guys. And I know it's gonna help you. Let me tell you, it's going to help you. Alright guys, so the 8th thing, I don't really wanna keep this video too long. Number 8, write down notes while in lecture and review notes at least once a week. And a lot of times I know it's video and maybe there could be a recording of the class, but the reason why I also put this to write down notes like during the lecture time is because this is really a time where you're getting new information, and those information may seem new to you and you may not really understand like what the professor really means by a lot of things they say. But this is the time where you kind of have the opportunity to have active thinking, right? Maybe in a class there are a lot of things, maybe in a very like upper level class, there are a lot of things you may not understand at first when your professor says it. You want to have a section where you write down your thoughts. I personally, I'm just giving you guys a tip now, one of my study tips. I said I'm going to do a video later, but down like initially this is what I write down, my thoughts on what the professor is saying. I don't necessarily write down, have to get down everything the professor is saying at the time. It says at the time because I'm gonna listen to the professor. So like you want to write down things you may be confused about, or your thoughts. What are your thoughts at that point? That's what I write down. If there's some things I understand, I write it down and kind of link it to what I don't understand and put a question mark and say, okay, review this, research more on that, Then the next one, review your notes at least once a week. The reason why I mainly say this is because these are gonna get crazy. It is, because you have your personal life going on. Maybe for those who have sports, but right now I know because of the pandemic that's not happening. A lot of things happen. And you could forget. As much as you could understand what's going on in the class, at the time the professor says it, you could forget. Maybe if it's a class where the professor maybe brings up a pop-up quiz, the professor could bring up a pop-up quiz anytime. So it's like, you don't want to be caught in that boat if you're really geared towards the success and wanting to get a 4.0 for that semester. You don't want to do that. Alright guys, I don't know, but forgive my lightning, and I kind of have to change the position a little bit. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So this video is kind of coming to an end. So what I did for classes that was really tough for me, I definitely reviewed about 3 times a week for those classes, because they're just those type of classes. For organic chemistry and biochemistry, definitely don't. Once a week is not gonna cut it. It's not. If you really want to be successful, even 3 times a week I don't think was enough for me, because I would have definitely done better, way better, if I studied maybe 5 times a week. I know that's kind of a lot, but it's really what you have to do if you want to be successful, and you don't want to overload yourself a week before an exam. Don't say I didn't tell you. For those tough classes, definitely don't alone. Even thinking about it, I'm like, whoa, that's impossible. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have to like really stress it, because if you have a tough class, you know you can't do studying for that exam and really want to do well a week before the exam. Like what? No. Okay, and the last thing, number 10, guys, please still keep up with your advisors and your career advisors, basically, because you don't want to get laid back right now, because still you're gonna graduate, and you really want to, you know, have a set career goal still in plan or graduate. So please definitely still keep up with your advisors, because for pre-mens and maybe pre-lower, and also for those who want to go for grad school, you have a lot to do. Make sure you keep up with your professors, so that make sure you keep up with your advisors, so that you know that, okay, you're up to task for this specific class, or you have maybe some requirements. For pre-med, you still have some requirements to still fulfill, and you want to speak to your advisors to make sure that you're finding ways to complete those requirements before you graduate. Definitely don't fall a victim of, you know, that and be unprepared because you're home. Definitely try to keep up and email back and forth, so they will know, or share also, they could share opportunities with you where you can maybe do virtual internships. I know there's a lot of opportunities coming up for that, to do virtual internships, so definitely try to keep up with your advisors, mainly please because of that. Guys, thank you so much. I didn't really want to stress this, but if there's anything you want me to elaborate on, maybe how to get internships right now, because I know that may be more difficult for some people, especially now, please let me know, and I'll definitely do a lot of research on that and bring you guys that content. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you for tuning back to my channel. It really means a lot to me, guys, because I know I've been MIA and I'm trying to get back to it now, and I just really hoping I can get back to where I was before. But thank you so much for everyone who has been supporting me so far, and thank you for watching. And love. So have a great day, have a great month, and you know, keep in you and continue to do, you know, all the great things you're doing. I wish you a wonderful semester and have a great semester. Definitely leave me down in the comment section below if I helped you out any of this tips I gave today.